this is maybe helpful for me too. Imagine what that looks like for those that you have influence with. Amazing. And then it gives you new purpose in saying, how can I make this time count so that I feel a sense of enrichment in the aftermath where I'm like, I'm really glad I was here today. I'm really happy that I had this moment, you know?
Me too.
Yeah, like
this is more like an Uber ride for me. This is more like, you know.
Yeah. I know even in my job as an Uber driver, I'm really intentional about what I do in my job. And it's given me so many opportunities to experience things that most Uber drivers don't get to experience, including the fact that I look for those opportunities. Sometimes, you know, Jez, I get to connect with people who are in really bad places in life. I was just mentioning to some of my riders here that the last few nights I've been driving and I've met some girls who have been raped by men who are really terrible, you know? And it is. It's really challenging. But to be able to sit down with them, to listen to them, to affirm them, to try and encourage them in that really difficult situation. I didn't ask for that, and yet I got the opportunity, you know, to be able to say, you still have value, even though you feel worthless right now, that someone took away your right to be able to speak for your own body, you know? And
you're such a wonderful person.
Oh, thank you, man.
You really are.
There are many of us like this, I think, right? Yeah, there's many people who are out there like this, and I'm thankful for that. I think we maybe seem a little bit out of the ordinary because there isn't many expressions of this kind of intentional connection, but when you're able to find it, it just seems a lot brighter. And I think that's maybe one of the reasons I like doing what I do, is to say, how can I encourage others that this is possible and that we can strive to connect this way? That's really important, you know? Yeah.
That's what I feel like I met my guardian angels.
Oh, thank you, man.
You just have a pure heart, that's it.
I wouldn't say I have a pure heart. I would say my heart is, it understands what it's like to have been on the wrong side. I'm speaking out of my experience of things that I've learned along the way, and many of my lessons, I've done things in the wrong pattern or the wrong way. I definitely have hurt people as well in my past. I've definitely made the wrong decisions. I've definitely done things that I won't forget. I've been able to forgive myself and do the right thing and try to make things right, but it's also helped inform why I won't go back to certain patterns or behaviors, just because I know what it's like to have been on that side, you know?
Your hardships made you the better person you are right now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I like being realistic and honest.
I know.
Thank you.
I can see you're being very genuine to me, and that's really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Really speechless right now. I'm just absorbing everything they're trying to say.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question then, just to get your thoughts. This essence of genuineness or authenticity, why do you think it seems minimal today, from your perspective?
Well, for me, it seems like seems like I'm interacting with people a lot, especially at the Zoom.
Absolutely.
I feel like people are just being, what do you call this? They're just being normal.
Yeah.
In the sense of having normal conversation, basic conversation.
Yeah.
Nothing like this going on in my everyday life.
Right.
Like open, what do you call this? An open conversation like this.
Right.
There's pretty basic conversation.
Right.
Parents. With, coworkers.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But there's out of my, what do you call this? Sorry, I'm just pretty speechless right now.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, this is something more than I'm experiencing every day. This is very unique for me, and you're not the same person as I talk to other people.
Right.
But you're just pretty unique to me, and I'm very much happy that
I'm glad you're here too, Jez.
You're my Uber driver.
Thank you.
I don't see you as a Uber driver. You're more like a mentor.
Oh, thank you. I am a little bit older than you too, perhaps. But that isn't the point. I think the point is how we can. Here's my idea of why I think there isn't as much genuine connections today as we'd like to see, because I think many of us desire this kind of connection. Many of us want to feel close. Many of us want to have that sense that somebody actually acknowledged that I existed and heard what I said, and actually cared to, you know, ask me questions and that kind of thing. I think everyone wants to feel that, but I think the reason we don't experience that as often, from my perception, it seems like in this culture there's a strong foundation of fear that most of us operate from. Fearfulness of what somebody else may be thinking or feeling about us. And when we think about that, we rarely think about the good case about ourselves. We think the bad, you know. They must think that I must look like an idiot, or they must, I was stupid for saying that, or, you know, we just speak to ourselves in this way, in which case it creates more distance, because we don't feel safe to be able to say, here's my idea, and I'm going to propose it, because we'll feel that someone will attack it and take it apart. So it's safer for us to keep it inside. We won't feel like we want to tell someone how we feel about them, because we don't want to look vulnerable, because it doesn't feel
There's
safe.
like a wall between us.
Right.
Yeah.
So all of these elements continue to bring more and more isolation feeling or division amongst us. And to be able to connect in a genuine way, it's a risky thing. It's a risky thing because you're putting yourself out there without any guarantee that you're going to be honored, right? And it's painful when someone says no thank you to you. So one of the biggest fears is that we're going to get rejected, that we're going to be adjudged, that we're going to lose our reputation, that we're going to look less cool, or, you know, like there's just all these elements that are born out of fearfulness that don't nurture being open and trusting and genuine. Now, we have to be careful to whom we're open to and what we're going to share and not share. But along those lines, the fact that we don't even do it at all or practice growing in it, it seems to me makes more and more feeling of, okay, I feel safe because no one can hurt me, but no one actually knows me.
Yeah.
And so there is that element there. But when you have an opportunity to take a risk, to be able to say, here's who I am. Here's the thing, before you connect with someone, there has to be something you reveal about yourself. For example, you and I, before we got in this car together, we were strangers, right? I only knew your name, and it started off by saying, hi, I'm Jez, and I'm Binyam. And we moved from there to say, what am I going to share with this person about myself? And the more we share about ourselves, our experiences, the more you're able to start giving something to the other person about yourself that is able to establish a connection or a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you know, establish connection.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the part that's scary, is because it's a risky thing to put ourselves out there. Now, people talk a lot about themselves or, you know, their experiences, but rarely does it ever get to the point of saying, here's what I truly feel. Here's how I really think. And when we're scared to death, maybe people don't know who you really are. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Sure, they may now know your favorite food or your color or where you live or that kind of thing, or what's where your political stance is. But to actually say, here's the thing that I am excited about, or that makes me nervous or worried or angry, or, you know, all that range of emotions. And so it's a difficult thing to apply yourself to that discipline of saying, what does that look like for me to give myself away in a way where I'm allowing others to know me a little bit deeper. And what I found is, if you're growing in that ability to share more of yourself in tactful ways, there's a reciprocity. Well, they say, oh, you feel that way? I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
I feel that way too. You know, you're almost giving them a gift to say, it's okay to be real with me as I'm sharing that gift with you, you know? Yeah. It seems that's how it makes sense, at least in my mind.
Right.
Look at this car. Isn't this a great family car in front of us? Some men would like to say that, right?
Yeah, of course. Wow. I'm actually pretty much thrilled having you.
Thank you. I feel affirmed. Thank you very much.
Such an amazing person. You're people smart then. Yeah.
I'm a people person, did you say?
People smart.
People smart. Oh, people smart. I've never heard that term.
Yeah. Like, you know that we have like different types of like kinds of smart.
Tell me about the different kinds.
I know there's book smart.
Okay.
There's people smart.
Okay.
You are.
Yeah.
There is. I'm not sure about the others, but there are 7 actually.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
I'll have to check that
definitely
out.
You're people smart.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask this question, after I first of all encourage you to say no, I want you to be able to say no freely without any apology. If you aren't sure about this idea, it's just an idea that I'm going to ask permission from you for, okay?
Sure.
And so the no answer is really important, just as a yes answer.
Okay.
When I don't drive my Uber, one thing I love to do is I like to share a lot of my experiences in the way I interact with people, with my followers online. I like to inspire others as well with what could be, you know? And a huge part is modeling what I'm talking about. And so I come across conversations like this once in a while when I'm like, I would like to be able to feature this conversation, the video of this conversation for my followers. My followers know that I really value people's privacy as well too. So I never want to do it unless it's a hell yes answer from the one I'm asking. And so my question to Jazz would be, would you feel comfortable if I were to share our conversation with my followers online?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It would mean that you wouldn't have your privacy if people are able to see you and I talking back and forth like this. You're okay with that?
Don't worry. You have all my consent.
I appreciate that.
I really love this conversation.
Let me give you a consent form just to sign off on it if you're comfortable with that, okay?
Sure.
We just got a couple of minutes before we get to our destination, but here, have a look at that one there. The pen is up top there.
Sure.
I appreciate you being willing to do that.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's not the primary purpose for why I ask. I like the way that we connect too, but if it also encourages others, it would be fantastic if I had your participation that way. What are they doing over here? Do you know?
So it's gonna be a superstore.
Is that so?
Yeah, a superstore. It used to be a garden center
Okay.
for like 100 years.
Oh my goodness.
Now.
Yeah.